What's going on, YouTube? This is another Wild Rift video brought to you by Tonkies Gaming. So we're going to be going over Lee Sin. Now this jungler, he's super tough to learn. So make sure that you play a lot of normal games with him. But this build is spot on. So make sure you use this build and you'll be all right. So let's get into it. So there's a couple different variations that you can do. Now, the one that I do is I like to go Yumu's Ghost Blade because I like the attack damage. I like the little bit of armor pen, but I like the movement speed. That's the biggest thing with Yumu's that I like is I like that movement speed so that way you can get from place to place pretty quick. And Yumu, it's really a good item. So after you run around for a minute, you'll gain your stacks. And once you do that, then your next attack will do bonus damage. So now the next item, I see this as like a flex, okay? Now, if there's a lot of tanky enemy champions, then you need to go Black Cleaver, okay? Black Cleaver got boosted in this last update, so you're going to be doing a little bit more damage with Black Cleaver, and it gives you the ability haste, and it just, guys, I mean, once you do 5 attacks on a champion, their armor's reduced by 25%. I mean, that right there should explain it all. But another option is if the enemy team isn't as tanky, I have been messing around with Trinity Force. Now, Trinity Force, it's good because it gives you the health, the attack damage, and the attack speed, and the ability haste. But it also makes it so that after you use an ability, your next attack does bonus damage. So if the enemy isn't as tanky, then you need to go Trinity Force right there, okay? Now, so the boots, like I said, also here you can go a couple different routes. If the enemy has a ton of attack damage, you can go Plated Steel Caps. It's going to make you a little bit tankier. If they have a ton of CC, go Mercury Treads. Now, if you're just totally going ham on the enemy and you're just going, you're winning and you're getting a ton of kills, Boots Lucidity, okay? That's going to make your skills come back even faster and you're just going to keep pumping out the damage. Now, what I enhance it to is I go Ionian Locket because it's going to give you a little bit of shield and it's going to help your team a little bit. But let's say you're having trouble catching up to the enemy. You could go Protobelt, give you another dash. I mean, that's a solid pick. So, but mostly I go with Locket. All right, so this next one, like again, it's another flex spot, okay? This is all situational. You need to see what's going on with the enemy. If the enemy has a Yasuo or a Jinx, you may want Randuin's Omen to get extra, crit resist. All right, so, but me, my bad. I like Guardian Angel because it kind of goes really well with Lee Sin, okay? You dive in, you get a kill, you get stuck in the middle, you die, you're going to get res back up. It's going to give you attack damage and some armor, which is super helpful also. So me personally, I go with that. But like I said, you could mess around and get a couple different items. So the next item is I get Mortal Reminder, okay? Now, again, this is kind of a flex. Now, if they're super tanky, let's say you already have Black Cleaver here, okay? So you might not need Mortal Reminder. But if they have like a Dr. Mundo or a Malphite or a super tanky champion, then you might want to get both, okay? That's going to just give you even more damage to those tanks. But if they're squishy, then I would go Duskblade of the Drakthar. Sorry. So this is going to give you attack damage and the ability haste. It's going to give you a little bit of armor pen, but the thing is that it's going to give you, when being unseen, you're going to, for 1 second, your next basic attack is going to do bonus damage. Okay, so like let's say you're in the bushes. You hop out, you kick them in the face, you're going to do extra damage. Okay, that's a solid pick right there. Now the last one is I go Sterox Gauge. Now this, what it's going to do is it's going to make your basic attacks do even more damage. It's going to give you health for sustain. But it's also, if you drop below 35% health, it's going to give you a shield. So to me, this is a solid last pick, and this is what I would go for. I mean, if you want to be a little bit more tankier, like let's say the enemy has a ton of ability power, you could go Force of Nature. That's going to give you the health and the magic resist. It's going to give you a little bit of movement speed. But I don't know. To me, Sterox is the best option in that last spot. All right, so for your runes, you're in the jungle. There is a couple things you could go for. I prefer Conqueror because building the stacks, you start doing a ton of damage to the enemy. And to me, it's ridiculous. But you could go where is it? You could go Electrocute when hitting an enemy champion with 3 separate attacks. You're going to deal bonus damage. You could go with that. You could go Fleet Footwork if you want for a little bit of mobility and a little extra healing. But to me, Conquer, it's just the best in that spot. So after that, I go Brutal. Brutal is the safest option. It's going to give you extra damage, especially early game. It's going to give you the armor pin, and it's the safest option. But if you are a really good Lee Sin player, you could get Triumph. It's going to give you a little bit of sustain. Whenever an enemy around you dies, you're going to gain some health back. If you're really good, you could go Champion. You do 8% bonus damage. Now, this got nerfed in the last patch. It used to be 10, but it's still 8. I mean, that's still a really good boost. So if you don't think you're going to die a lot, you could go Champion. All right, so the next one, I get Hunter Titan. Now, this is going to give you just a little bit of extra health, and it's going to give you tenacity, okay? That's why I like it. Now, you could go, if you want to be a little bit more tankier, you could go Bone Plating. It's going to give you a little bit of extra. You're not going to take as much damage if you want tankier. But me, I'm sticking with Hunter Titan. All right, the last one, I'm going to get Mastermind. So this, for in the jungle, is just going to give you more gold, and it makes the most sense. Now, if you want your skills to come back faster, you could go Hunter Genius for the ability haste, but to me, the other ones just really don't make much sense, especially if you're in the jungle. Like, you're not going to get Sweet Tooth because you're not going to be in the lane, so you're not going to really need those berries. So Mastermind, it makes the most sense for a jungler. For the spells, so since you're in the jungle, you're going to go Smite, and you're going to go Flash, all right? Super important. The jungler always uses Smite. Make sure to remember that. So at the end of this video, there's going to be a link to the gameplay. I'm not going to put it with this because I don't want to make this video too long, so that way you guys can see it. Now, I'll probably post the gameplay tomorrow, but don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and hopefully this helped you guys. I'll see you next video.